I love you, Mum.
I love you.
Thank you. So, are you going to talk about how you've been really excited lately, or is that something that's off the camera?
Yeah, no, we can talk about that. I was going to talk about it anyway because I was going to talk about foreboding joy.
Yeah.
Brene Brown talks about foreboding joy. I don't think she coined the term, but she describes it in her new book, Atlas of the Heart.
Okay.
And she also describes it in her Daring Greatly book as well.
Yeah.
Where foreboding joy,
Yeah.
it's where you're excited about life, you're loving life, you've got joy in your heart.
Yeah.
But there's this, you're forecasting that something terrible is going to go wrong.
Okay.
Because it's so great, because life generally is all stuffed up.
Yeah.
And so when something's going so great, there's this thing in the back of your head like, don't enjoy this
Yeah.
because it's going to end or something's bad's really going to happen soon.
I think we're both going through that.
Yeah.
Because I think you've turned a corner.
Yeah.
And it's great for both of us.
Yeah.
And it scares me a little.
Yeah.
Because it means there's more opportunities for us.
Yeah.
And I just, yeah, you're like sort of too good to be true sort of thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's alright.
But I've still got my problems.
Yeah, you've still got your problems, little one, but your problems are problems that I love. You know what I mean? Like, they're like when you're a bit down or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just a chance to talk and for me to
Yeah.
make you feel happy and for us to connect.
Yeah.
Or not make you feel happy,
No,
but
I know
you know
what
what I
you
mean?
mean.
Like, pick you up where I can, and if you don't, the thing is, I don't mirror you. Like, just because, like, if you're in a bad mood, I don't try and double down.
Yeah.
And sort of like compete in that arena or feel like I have to be in that state of mind that you're in.
Yeah.
I can just be there for you without having to try and, I don't know.
You've taught me so much about conflict resolution, communication, just being in general. But like, I remember when we did our marriage prep quiz, and we scored really high on communication and really high on conflict resolution.
Yeah.
But you taught me all that stuff, like right from the start, and obviously accelerated that as we've gone on.
Yeah.
But just because I'm used to, in the past, like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, the way that I'd handle conflict is like person A is angry at person B, so you hold on to that for as long as you can until like it's really uncomfortable or like days go on. But with you, it's nipped in the bud. Like it's you don't like fuel that for days or even hours. It's more likely just like,
it's like if you pull away, I know that you need me. I don't go, well, she's being difficult, I'll pull away. Yeah. Or when you're angry and upset, which is rare, like you get narky or whatever, like I do, but when you're actually upset, I try my best to not to know that you're in trouble and it's not my time. But I like generally like the fact that I don't notice anymore where we're like if I'm down, I don't notice that I have to come to you. You know what I mean? Like if I'm angry, and I don't want to talk because you should know and all that sort of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I'm angry and I'm got a negative aspect in my head. You'll just be loving it, and I'll just be like, oh, I better be nice. I don't know, but yeah, you're good at it because I remember me saying to you, you can't double down,
yeah,
or something about like if I'm in a bad mood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
and that's my old framework.
Yeah, but I haven't noticed that lately where when I get angry, it doesn't become the stage where you get angry and I have to overcome my anger to make sure we're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like we're not perfect, are we?
No. We scored lowest on financial management.
Oh yeah, I was going to make a joke out of that straight away, but I thought I'll let this thing ride out a bit before I talk about how I had a poor man's mindset and want to spend all my cash as soon as I got it, and you're like, save so you can actually look after yourself when the car breaks down and stuff like that. Yeah. But I think I've learnt. I think I'm probably not where you're at because I still get that stage where I go, I want to buy something. But this financial year, like, because I put all my invoices out at the end of the financial year, I don't give them out all year round. I generally, during the end of financial year, I think, well, I'm going to buy some sort of technology. And this year, I've just thought, no, we need that cash for when, because I don't make much, and we're not on a big wicket, and we're generally, the bank account's going down, so it's just like, no, don't go and buy a new computer or,
If anything, I'm the big spender now. I just go on Marketplace, I'm like, oh, didn't know I needed that, but it's cheap.
Yeah.
I love a good sale. Like, not a sale, but a good deal.
Yeah, but even with all your little purchases, they're always handy purchases that we probably need anyway. And I'd probably spend more on that in just my crutches, like my beer and my nicotine.
Yeah.
A lot more, yeah. So, but you do like a good sale, I'll give you that.
Love it.
Liz, you might notice a unicorn in the background there.
You can't say how much it costs.
Can't we?
No, because if we've already given a present as a unicorn as well, so we don't want to say.
Oh, that's a secret.
Or maybe we're
just let's just say it was under $100 for a big old unicorn like that. Yeah.
I used to when I was younger, like, because Mum would always buy stuff on special.
Yeah.
Like that was about to near expiration date.
And
whenever I'd buy something like a mud cake, not that you'd like, just say it was a mud cake, and it'd have like a big special sticker on it, I'd always nip that off before taking it to a friend's house.
Yeah.
But now I'm the opposite. Now I'm like, look what I got.
Yeah.
This one's reduced to 70%.
Yes. I think back in the day, people were very, they'd be ashamed of putting black and gold and all the Woolies brand and Coles brand stuff. And this is why I think Aldi was so good for Australia, because they've got all their own brand stuff, but they brand it good and and actually it's a good product.
Yeah.
And like some of the old Woolies Coles products were just shit for poor people, you know what I mean? Like you'd get a chicken pie and it was just all gravy and just a bit of chicken guts.
Yeah.
It was filthy. And now they actually make decent products that are home brand, and it's taken away that stigma of when someone who's a bit uppity comes into the store, they don't feel embarrassed that they've got a bit of home brand stuff in their trolley. Yeah.
But I think like the brand name No Frills, that's a great brand name.
Yeah, No Frills. Yeah.
Just fantastic.
I loved Franklin's. I used to shop there on a Tuesday because that's when they discounted all their meat. And me and Will, I was on my own, and I had my young son to my former partner. He's 18 years old this year, and we were. I had a job, but I only worked 6 hours a day, 4 days a week, and that was my income, and I wasn't on a big wicket. It's what minimum wage is now. Even things are cheap, even though now things are a lot more expensive than they were back then. And I've actually forgotten what I was talking about.
You're buying meat on Tuesdays.
Oh yeah, Tuesday meat at Franklin's. So I'd get what I need at Franklin's, and there was plenty of no-frill stuff. And then they'd have all the cheap meats, and they were in smaller packaging. They weren't like 6 chops or like 2 chops or 1 chop. Mm-hmm. And that was great for a sandwich or yeah. But I gotta say, I didn't feed my son well. Whenever he talks about the good old days, he talks about oh, Dad, when you used to make instant noodles and put plum sauce on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's good to have you around for my, like, because I had him half the time, but I had my problems in myself, but there were certain things that were lacking in what I did. Yeah. And I think, I know you're hard on yourself with how you parent and that sort of thing, but like, for all my weaknesses, you make up for that in strengths.
Thank you.
Yeah. So she's fed. Like, I'm not. There's people out there that actually cut up carrot and say, well, you can't eat that. You got to eat the good stuff, and then they get used to it or whatever. Yeah. But like, you do pretty well.
Thank you.
That's all right. Big breaths. It's okay, guys. We're okay. You're okay. Maybe it should have been called deep shit. We're getting there, aren't we? Mm. Yeah. Life goes on. Life goes on. We've got a lot to talk about, really.
A lot, yeah.
Lot to get through. It's just when I play it back, I think, I didn't say this, I didn't say that. I said that and I was wrong about that. And look back and think, oh, well, I'm not, because it's not perfect like you would if you wrote it all down. I think, well, I'm a bit misrepresentative, but it's also, we've got to, I think what the people want at this stage, Liz, is a bit of Liz Brown comedy. So if you want to get them, if you, la da 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 da.
I'll just channel my.
Oh, poor Coffee, I know. She's a bit sick at the moment. She hasn't been going to daycare because she's sick. What are you going to channel, Mum?
I was going to channel Jerry Seinfeld.
Why don't you try this again? Wait, how would you channel Jenny? Oh, she's waking up. Well, after I fucked up.
Yeah. Resilience.
I need more of that. A lot more of that.
Oh, you've got it. It's the ability to bounce back. It doesn't mean that you don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say about that? Oh yeah. In our parenting course that we were doing, there was a thing that said, and I think it wasn't last week, this week, but the week before, and it talked about parents that have ruptures in their relationship with their children. Yeah. And then they repair that relationship, have better overall relationships than parents that never have that rupture at all. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like relationships that never fight.
Yeah.
Like they put the relationships niceness and keeping it together before putting their wants and needs, so they can't sort of wiggle it out and work it out and go, this is what I need, this is what I don't need. Yeah. Rather they just dampen themselves and give up on who they are or bend. Yeah. Rather than work out what's going to work for you and what's going to work for me. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. What's your thoughts? Come on, Liz.
Well, vulnerability is so important in relationships. Yeah. In any relationship.
Yeah.
But appropriate vulnerability. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at times I've been inappropriately vulnerable with you, have I? Or was it good because I gave away sides to myself that was hard to handle?
All I meant was because I was talking about the context of all relationships.
You're thinking about some of the people in our lives that... I'm thinking about one person in particular who's gives too much of themselves too quick.
Yeah.
And those things that she gives is negative and it hurts her perception.
We need to have a foundation of some sort of relationship and trust before you go into those vulnerable conversations.
Or people, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, well, just when I first met that person that you're referring to, I was so shocked. And then I felt like this isn't safe because we haven't got a safe place yet.
Yeah.
And now we're even less safe because you just made this statement about yourself.
Yeah.
And now we're on ground that's like we've got this pretend fake intimacy. I like thinking about false peacemakers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a false peacemaker as in I'm not, but I can be. Like, you explain what false peacemaker is.
Well, first it would be explain what a peacemaker is. So a peacemaker is someone who builds and restores friendships and relationships based on truth and honesty and openness. But a false peacemaker is where you appease and smooth things over just for the sake of image and perception rather than an actuality underneath it.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I couldn't have said that better if I read it out of that book that we read.
Peter Scazzaro, Emotionally Healthy Spirituality.
Yeah, you said that spot on.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go over that. Say that again and I'll try and apply it to my relationships.
So the false peacemaking is just where you don't have that truth and honesty underpinning.
Yeah.
What is the interaction
See,
that
just
you're
being
trying
nice.
to... Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than getting, this is why I'm hurt. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what's up with me. Because you can't be vulnerable around these people who've hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's saying, it's fine, it's no problem, we're good.
Yeah.
When we are not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like keeping people close. It's sort of like that thing that say, keep your enemies close, or what's that? Keep your friends close but your enemies closer. So it's like, oh, you don't like them, but you'll keep them on side. It's a fake, false thing.
Yeah.
I feel that with a few people where I've challenged them on some of their behaviours.
Yeah.
And they've smoothed it over, as you said, but without really dealing with the context of the situation.
Yeah.
So they're not in a situation where they're capable of saying, oh, I apologise for that, or this is my reasons for that, and it was, like explaining themselves.
Yeah. Like a very miniature version of what we're talking about is when someone says yes and they mean it, when they say no and they mean it, you can tell that, okay, we know, we're on the level.
Yeah.
We know what yes means and what no means when they're saying it. It's like when you offer someone, oh, do you want this? And they're like, oh, no, it's all right.
Yeah.
But they're like, I really want it. Then you feel like, oh, we have to have this extra conversation around, but what is really going on?
Yeah.
But that's like a simple level of...
That's like when we've got food and there's one piece of food left and I'm like, do you want this, Lisa? And you're like, no, it's alright. And I'm like, no, have it. And you're like, no, it's yours. And we're just like, I want that food.
I'm putting the food in my mouth and you're just looking at it going, and I'm like, he really wanted that.
Is this good?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, poor bugger.